This is a Nekko Media podcast.
What's your pleasure, sir?
Welcome, Cinephiles and Cenobites. This is Cinebite22 of Season 3, the first Cinebite of 2019. I'm your host, Annika Pussyfoot. For this first Cinebite of 2019, Mox and Ono are going to list off their top 6 crap films, 6 honorable mentions, and their 6 favorite films of 2018. Did your movie make any of these lists? Stick around and find out for yourself. This is the Top 666.
All right, welcome to a new Cinephiles and Cenobites podcast. I am Onofre, and with me, my creative life mate, Mox.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Welcome to the first episode of 2019.
Yeah.
This one's been a long time coming. We're going to be listing off our top 6 worst films of 2018, our 6 honorable mentions, and our 6 favorite films of 2018.
Yep.
Yeah, so
mild year in my opinion, but you felt otherwise, yeah?
For the most part, it felt like there was a lot of good horror movies that came out. With regards to Academy worthy films, it was very very mild for sure. Good year for indie, I think too. So.
Yeah, true. I missed a lot of the bigger movies. I think you did too. Like I did not see Bohemian Rhapsody. I know we refused to see A Star Is Born, and I still haven't caught Roma. I need to be in a headspace to read 2 hours or so of subtitles, which I'm not averse to, but
yeah,
I do love Alfonso Cuarón, but yeah, I need to be in that headspace.
Yeah. So we'll get started because we got 18 films to talk about. 18 individual
18 apiece. Yeah, I'm talking 36. Yep.
Yeah. So
I got some stuff to say about my favorites. Didn't want to spend too much time writing up about or thinking hard on my top 6 that I hated. The films on this list, on my 6 that I hated, I would just fucking hate it. I fucking hated them.
I feel like it's the opposite for me. I feel like I can go into depth why I hated these top 6 worst movies, and the top 6 favorites are can speak for themselves.
They speak for themselves. Okay,
yes. It just goes without saying.
Right. Cool.
All right. So welcome to the 2018 Top 666. Was that 3 6s? Okay, yeah. Go.
3 6s.
All right. So first up on my top 6 worst films of 2018. In no particular order.
Already. Yeah. Oh, really?
No,
okay,
no particular order.
Okay, go with it.
Because they're all crap. They're all crap. So
get it, yo. Get these motherfuckers.
I'm gonna have to go with The Commuter.
Really? Okay, 1 was that 2018, and 2 really that bad?
Yeah.
What did you hate about it? Because I felt like it was just a middle of the road popcorn kind of.
It was actually released officially according to IMDb on January 12th, 2018. So right at the beginning of the year. And they started off 2018 started off to a really slow start.
Really boring ass start, right?
Yeah.
Oh God.
First up, this movie is so boring. It is so boring.
It is pretty boring.
Nothing.
They throw everything at you, right?
Yeah.
To make you like care or like.
Well, at the beginning, where they strongly emphasize his daily routine. This is the same thing he does over and over. The commuter, like he goes on a train from work to back and forth on the train, so he knows everybody on the train.
Right.
Or so he says. He says. And so I feel like at one point, basically the movie is about Liam. It's Liam Neeson. He's an insurance salesman, ex-cop.
Taken ish on a train now.
Yeah.
Commuter train. Where in Philly? Chicago? Not that it matters, but yeah.
I have no idea. But
so he got money problems, right?
He is, but I wouldn't call it like he says he's paying like 2 mortgages and he's got 1 mortgage and putting 2 kids through school. I think that's normal. I mean, and you got two people, putting in money or bringing in money. So, you know, I mean, it's an issue, with some families. I mean, yeah, sure, you got to save up, or else, have your kids take out loans or work for scholarships to pay for school.
Right.
But
No reason to rob a bank,
yeah.
yo.
So yeah,
That's Ono's thing.
yeah.
Like, you gotta really come with the real reasons before you start going to all out crime. He doesn't buy this bullshit regular money problems. Now you're thinking about robbing the bank. That's the thing with him. There's always a way before crime is on the table.
There is a way, right? Okay, so Vera Farmiga's character kind of hands, a note to Liam Neeson's character, right? And says,
she's that femme fatale, right?
Yeah,
a serious femme fatale for no reason.
Yeah, and yeah, she's only got like 5 minutes of screen time. That's
right.
It. Yeah, so he's got to find someone, and I think get her off. Make sure she doesn't get off the train, and like they'll pick her up, and that's all he has to do. Like I think they paid him like $10,000 or something to do that. So like the whole movie is him trying to figure out who this person is, and then like at one point I just don't care already. Like you're not trying hard enough, Liam Neeson. If you really want that, and then he's like, I don't want this money. You took it. You're in it now. But he's like an ex-cop, right? So it's like
what it reminded me of, but less lower concept was actually Vera Farmiga's in that too. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes. Oh, the source code.
It's a source code. Yeah,
that was
which I loved. I love source code. So
I think that's Philip K. Dick, isn't it? Like a short story.
Short story.
Yeah.
Probably every great sci-fi was expanded on from him.
Yeah. But that was the shit.
Except Moby Dick on Netflix. That was the shit. Yeah.
But the Commuter,
not so much.
No.
I mean, I didn't hate it like you. Jesus, of all the shit movies to pick from, you pull that. All right.
There's no mystery. There's no tension.
Like you could just give a fuck the whole time.
And then I'm like, oh, I know who it is. I don't care. Like, I
did like the Predator vision at the end with the sniper rifle. I like that. I don't know if I needed to wait an hour and a half for that scene, but
yeah. No, you didn't have to.
I mean, that would have been, I feel like it would be a good short.
Yeah.
That would have been a great 15-minute short.
Oh, yeah. This is like a scary story. Like they could, you don't need however many 90 minutes.
There's nothing really to develop, right? Because his character didn't develop out that much. The plot is literally the same the entire time.
Yeah.
There's a twist and shit, but you see the twist coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his predicament is kind of forced on, like, because he gets fired from his job, right? It's like out of nowhere. It's like, okay, now we know he needs the money. We know his. I gotta put these kids through school. It's like, sure, okay. There's a way.
Actually, I think it's one kid, two houses. One house they bought to flip. And they weren't able to because the market crashed.
Oh, all right.
So he's paying that mortgage plus the mortgage they live in. But yeah, okay. Oof. Of my 6, I should probably try to find one that I hated as much that you hated The Commuter. I'll just go with Venom.
Okay.
I feel it's in the vein of Commuter. I hate it only because of what brilliant source material it comes from, and the movie was lackluster and kind of patchy on all over the place. Also, it's PG-13.
Really?
Also, they forced on, fire hurts the symbiotes, and they randomly brought that up in dialogue as like a throwaway line.
Really?
It's like, what hurts you? Sound. Oh, and fire. Oh yeah, and fire. And then that's how they kill the bad guy symbiote in the end, instead of the already established fucking sonic noises.
Huh. Really?
I mean, that's not even the biggest problem. Just the biggest problem is that it fucking sucks.
Oh.
And apparently it takes the bad guy a year to travel by plane from China. So that didn't make too much sense.
A year. By plane? He didn't go on a boat?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The movie opens up a year from the climax. And the majority of time is the bad guy symbiote traveling from where it lands in China to San Francisco. So,
damn. Okay.
Just it just sucks.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take your word for it. So is Venom part of the MCU then?
No, it's part of Sony's
Oh,
Spider-Man world,
so
but
was this a Sony film? Is that why
it was a Sony film.
it
It's
performed
why it
poor?
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Sony has a deal with Marvel for just Spider-Man. So the MCU team is working with the Sony team to craft Spider-Man in a way that it's awesome, and two, integrates well into the MCU. Sony had full reign on Venom, and this is what we get.
Damn. Okay.
This is actually just maybe a smidge above the DCEU.
Oh, that's
I mean, the
bad.
DCEU has put some terrible films out there. I don't know if Venom is as worse or as bad as the worst DCEU movie, but it's worse than the worst MCU movie by leagues.
Well, still,
And
there's only a small handful of DCU movies, right?
True. We haven't reached a critical mass, but I feel like even if it's only 5 films and 80% of them suck, 10% are mid-level, and one of them is good.
All right, moving on.
The
The next movie on my crap list goes out to
the fat one.
The Domestics.
Oh God, yeah, I didn't bother after you told me about it because the premise sounded,
It does
promising.
I love
but then
post-apocalyptic movies. Yeah.
Really? Well, then this is the time for you. Every other movie is post-apocalypse.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounded so fucking stupid. It sounded like YA, but lazy.
I feel like with the post-apocalyptic films that came out last year, a lot of them it feels lazy, as in like the story, so this great tragic phenomenon happened that just kind of breaks down the whole world, but like it feels like everybody just wanted that to happen so that they can make these different gangs. Like no one pulled together. Like, oh, this is what we've been waiting for. So now we can say, to hell with government.
We can break off.
Break all the rules and the laws and go out our separate ways. Because it didn't seem real enough for me to give a shit about these different. And then the gangs too are just like cheesy,
too gimmicky. Yeah.
Too
like,
on the nose.
In the vein of Warriors.
Like these are just a bunch of nerds who are making their own.
Making a gang.
Let's make a gang, guys. I got all these guns.
Right. It feels like when it would make sense for everyone to pool their resources, they force on this whole scattered small subsets because that's what the story needs, rather than the overriding logic would feel more like, why don't we band together and maybe there's one or two groups of people who just are fuck it anarchists, but not like everybody in their own neighborhoods, like let's make our own gang and not be a part of them because reasons.
Yes. And the domestics are the people who still want to live that good life,
as if
they still
society
got
were still
because
it
looks like they have 3 meals a day. They get to shower. They get to cut their hair. They're keeping themselves well.
Just carrying on. So they're actually it should be called the delusionals. Maybe that's the subtext to the domestics.
Delusionals. But there's still people out there who still want to live that good life. So they're fighting for that stability.
I mean, I can get behind that. But lazy world building and lazy reasoning. Yeah, to me. If you're going to try to have a specific point and you set it in the post-apocalypse, don't go bigger than the point you're trying to make. Yeah. Because then there's too many plot holes and then you're like, you can't engage to get the theme. Yeah. Because like you're so distracted by how lazy as fuck and how like, why would all of these people randomly fight to make these separate groups? Okay, the authors are trying to say something, but
like no, there's no reason for these people aren't starving. Like there's no natural disaster. It's not like it's now forever desert or like it's forever like a cold winter,
Right.
nuclear winter.
Right.
No,
Nuclear winter. Right.
no, we still have what four seasons a year. You know, everyone's still good. I mean, they're still running electricity. I mean, like there's
Yeah,
no
to me that's
reason,
good.
you know,
Yeah.
for everyone to just
For
break
for
down.
suddenly some
Yeah,
groups, right, to just be like descending to madness. It's
yeah.
like, dude, we still
But
got power
the
and
reason they
food.
gave though, I guess would kind of justify it. Like I think it was the government that tried to reset everyone, so they kind of their plan was poorly executed, I guess, or they
So only
didn't.
some places fucked up on power, or
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
It still sounds patchwork.
It's like, oh, okay, sure. I guess that might be a reason for everyone to just break down and say, "Fuck it, let's let's start our own thing." But no, not good enough. Sorry.
Yeah.
But Kate
Get
Bosworth
the fuck.
was cool. Shout out to Sonoya Mizuna. She was like a badass in this movie. One of the more cool
Nice.
characters in this one. I think she was in Crazy Rich Asians too.
Oh, cool. Another movie I'm like, fuck that.
What's next on your list?
A piece of shit called Den of Thieves.
Den of Thieves. Which one was that?
Mm-hmm. Gerard Butler,
Oh,
50 Cent.
oh, that one. Oh,
Yeah.
He's the.
I think Ice Cube's son maybe was in it. I don't know. Just every cliche that you can think of from this kind of urban cops as a street gang of their own finds its way into this piece of crap.
Oh my god.
Also, too, the point of view is so skewed. You don't know who the film is trying to have you root for, the fucking bank robbers or the cops. And if that was the creative choice, like Heat, they fucked up on that too. It just felt like they didn't know what they were talking about versus the argument was they're so alike. It just matters on you. Are the good guys the robbers or are the good guys the cops? But I mean, once you knew that 50 Cent was one of the leads, you could kind of guess the quality of the overall filmmaking.
Oh, he's gonna ruin the movie.
And you would think that, but he doesn't.
He doesn't. Okay.
Gerard Butler is actually worse.
He's the one.
Because he gets so much screen time.
Oh, Gerard Butler.
And he's just terrible. Yeah.
Man.
Not in everything. Gerard Butler can do it, but
Like
just this movie.
I want to watch Hunter Killer, but I'm like,
Hunter Killer is good, actually.
Is it?
Hunter Killer is surprisingly good. It's a taut popcorn thriller.
Oh, okay. Is it like Crimson Tide?
Kind of, but see, it focuses in Washington on that sub and on a group of SEALs on the ground in the mission. So there's a lot going on. It's closer to Clear and Present Danger. It's Clear and Present Danger light.
But it's not
Tom
Clancy?
Clancy, yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Definitely not at that level, but it's enjoyable without taxing your brain, but it delivers, you know?
Okay. Right, all right.
So what you got? What you got?
Next up on the worst films and post-apocalyptic themes.
Oh, wow, still on that thread. Okay. What
Future
else sucks?
World. Future World.
Future World.
It was co-directed by James Franco.
Oh God, I told you that was gonna be horrible. I fucking told you. I know you want to give it the benefit of the doubt, but
It looked
apparently
the
it
trailer
screwed the pooch.
The trailer got. I was like, man, this looks like it's gonna be bomb ass, and it was just ass.
I told you it's
like,
incoherent.
It made no sense. It like okay, so they're trying to find the cure for his dying mom. I think the mom died anyway. Lucy Liu? I don't know. I
Wow.
can't remember. I had a difficult time watching this because I think we had like a robot in this movie and she's supposed to be the future of mankind, but like
Right.
I didn't get it. And Snoop Dogg's in this movie. I was like,
That should have been a clue too,
yeah,
brother.
it's that nothing. This movie just fell apart within the first 5 minutes of this. I was like, oh,
That bad. Wow.
yeah. And again, like, it wasn't believable as a post-apocalyptic movie. Like,
Okay.
no one's malnourished. It looks like everyone is eating good. You know, And again, we just the weather isn't an issue. It's just where these people choose to live.
They just choosing to be barbarians.
Yeah.
All right. Say okay.
They all try to be road warriors. Like, no, y'all can't do that. Oh my god. But no, don't waste your time on this flick. And that's all.
James Franco is one of those guys. He'll do anything that he likes one thing about. So just because he's in something does not mark or remark on its quality. He can be quality. He can be in quality movies, but some of the shit he randomly chooses to be in is like, what the fuck? He's such an artist.
Yeah.
That a lot of the shit he picks is just meant to be an art house.
I know, and I think that's what they were shooting for with this one. Trying to be art house, post-apocalyptic.
Which is fine, but
I don't know if you can do that with this kind of setting. No. Do it right next time.
I feel like I wrote about this after I saw it on our website, The Outsider, with Jared Leto. What a nonsensical piece of whitewashed rubbish. This a fucking horrible fucking movie. I fucking hate it. Jared Leto is good. The fucking director is good. I'm sure the novel that it was ripped off from was good, or graphic novel or whatever, but just, it has nothing. It's just a horrible piece of shit, and there is no legitimate reason why a white guy leads this cast of Asians.
Because he's the best.
Also, because he's white, yeah. And also there's some samurai shit in there for some reason.
You never saw Best of the Best? Wasn't it Eric Roberts?
Right.
The best of the best. Team America.
Well,
and
Christopher Penn.
Christopher Penn, yeah.
Yeah, best character in there. Although the best fighter is not the best actor. Philip Ree.
Oh, right. Yeah, but Christopher Penn's character was dope.
Pop it. I know, like he's the most engaging.
Yeah.
So he was the right character to kill in part 2, because anyone else I wouldn't have given a fuck. Although the movie suffers from his death, but you know it, with every subsequent sequel, Best of the Best started just jumping the shark like crazy. I think by Best of the Best 4, it's like a full-blown Steven Seagal movie. Like action scenes, gunfights in the street, motorcycle gang for some reason. They just was running out of ideas. Dartboarding up the plot, like, so, okay, biker gang versus Yakuza. Got it. But yeah, getting back to this piece of shit, The Outsider. Oh, don't even waste your time. It's on Netflix for free, but it smacks of that price.
It's a Netflix original?
Yes. That is totally like everything you think when you see that brand Netflix original, this movie is the poster child for.
No. Okay. So
just useless garbage.
The template for a Netflix original flick is this next crapper Bird Box. The Bird Box.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
you really hated it. Okay.
I think they went too big for what it could have been, and they ended it with such a happy ending. Yeah, like it was too happy.
No, I like that happy ass ending, and I like.
It's not even a happy ending. So she finds a place where she can chill now. She doesn't have to worry about outsiders. It's not like they found the cure for anything.
The cure. Well, that's not what it's about. It's not about the curing. It's about dealing and thriving in a world that sucks. But I get what you're saying. Also, though, both of these films, excessive crutch of flashback. So that's a pet peeve of mine. Ugh, piece of shit. Okay, I got Sicario 2.
Wow. For like that bad.
I fucking hated that movie. Maybe because it's in the wake of how awesome the first one is. Maybe it's just because it was stupid. I don't know. Maybe it's because when we got there, we missed the only cool scene in the entire movie, right?
Yeah.
The terrorist bomb in the grocery store. But honestly, that couldn't have saved it, because that would have set a higher bar, and then the rest of the film would have been boring as shit as it was. And then we'd be like, what the fuck? Why you start the movie off awesome only to be shitty? Swordfish.
Ah, yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I thought it moved away from what made the original film so good.
The original, right. Just fuck that movie. If you're on the fence about it, skip it. Skip that piece of shit. All right. Save your 2 hours.
Another disappointing film that I thought was gonna be badass. Peppermint.
Oh fuck yeah! You know what though? It just wasn't as bad enough to make my six. But you're right. What a fucking lackluster piece of soulless garbage.
Yes, like Jennifer Garner's character, like oh my, like I get, you know, she did it probably the right way, you know, got all her money. Okay, now I'm gonna take vengeance. The movie starts out weird though
Oh
because
yeah.
it starts off with her in the car
Oh
with
right,
one of the
right.
dudes, right?
Marking him. Yeah.
They didn't go back and explain how she got there. Like, how did she get into the car with this guy? You know, parked
Oh
in the
right,
middle
right,
of,
right. What was the right? What was the pretense
yeah, like how
that
did she do
allowed
that?
them to be there? Right.
You know, and then you know she comes back as this whole like the the homeless community knows who she is and is like the savior.
The savior.
Like
Right.
I didn't get that. Like, what did she do for y'all?
They
Like,
totally didn't bother. Like that's the most interesting part of the story, and they give fuck all time to developing it.
yeah. So I think this was like, I think I told you it was like the Brave One meets like just a shitty movie. Like this is a really shitty Brave One.
Oh, it is so shitty. I was not a fan of the Brave One, but at least that movie bothers to tell a story.
Yeah.
This takes all the story out and just leaves in the shitty action. Like we've seen this action before. I mean,
Like
ugh,
we get flashes of her training process.
flashes
Like
only.
I want to see the
Not-
training.
That
Yeah.
would have been interesting. You know, that was probably one of the best sequences of Batman Begins, where we see his fucking rise to being a ninja.
Yeah, because I know her drive to do this.
Her drive makes
I-
sense. We
yes.
know her motivation, and I feel like it's a dark take on it. You know that there's no redemption and they don't bother to like force on a good ending or a good like upheaval. Now she's gonna get some kind of a life back. No,
No.
she's being helped by cops to go out and kill some more. All right, girl Punisher, but they didn't even bother to do it good. Ugh, yep, what a piece of shit. I agree with you. Fucking hated this movie, and I was so looking forward to it.
Right, because isn't it directed by
Pierre Morel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh, that's Taken. It's Taken.
that's taken.
That's Taken.
That's taken.
But
This is just his sloppiest, laziest, what the fuck, phoning it in piece of shit movie ever.
oh, like, he phoned it in on this one.
I mean, Jennifer Garner's dope.
Yeah.
I just wish the movie was as good a vehicle for her character as her character,
Yeah,
or she put into her character, because there was something there. They just didn't bother as fuck to,
yeah,
and they I feel like they didn't give any kind of other layer to Peppermint. Like the only one is the direct connection to her daughter likes peppermint flavor. Like,
Yeah.
who gives a fuck?
that was the only.
I-
Okay.
You know, I thought, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Expound, people. Give us something more. Like, it's not the days of mindless action.
yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, get the fuck out, Peppermint, piece of shit. For shame, Pierre Morel. You are capable of so much more. Anyway, my next one.
But I did love
Jurassic-
Draft Day though. Draft Day. Jennifer Garner. Draft Day.
Oh, fuck yeah. I was going to say, fucking Pierre Morel did that? I don't
Oh.
think so. No, yeah, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah, she's great in that. And, you know, she's only a supporting character. But, yeah, Jennifer Garner is she's wonderful. Yeah, my piece of shit next one is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Damn. Was
I
that
fucking
bad?
hated that.
Oh.
I fucking hated it. And I hated it more that it had that one fucking beautiful scene of the Brontosaurus dying on the deck,
I think
the dock.
that scene, right? I think that was enough for me to say that was the saving grace of this movie. It's like, wow, so powerful. But
It
I
was,
can't
it's-
hate it because of that part.
How dare a movie this shitty throw in a beautiful, powerful, resonant scene like that? Like, what the fuck? If you're gonna do that, why not bother to make the rest of the movie as good?
Yeah. It's just,
Like, what the
I hear
fuck?
I hear the dinosaur cry. I can't
I
move
know.
anymore. I'm on this deck. Oh, and the
And it's
lava. It just
behind me is coming. We're all
Yeah.
extinct. Like, oh my god! Like,
that.
whoever came up with that, they should have let him do the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What was
Obviously,
that
you guys
guy?
were capable.
Yes. Who's that Littlefoot? The cartoon.
Land Before Time.
Yeah.
Land Before Time.
That was
Yeah.
Land Before Time.
That was Land Before Time. That movie too fucking made me cry. I don't know. Just how dare you guys? Ugh, shame on all of you. Just what a piece of shit movie.
Oh, I,
Terrible character motivations, terrible twists.
I did like the underlying theme though. Now, okay, so the whole world knows we have these dinosaurs, right? We resurrected them through science.
Right. And now they're out in the world.
They're out in the world. What do we do? Do we protect them? Do they have rights too now? Or can we wipe them out? You know?
Right.
It's like, okay,
right.
yeah, what do you do now? We brought them back. We can't just we need to domesticate these animals now.
Oh no, you one of those people.
No.
I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, kill them. I'm sorry.
Nuke the
They
island.
are not compatible with our time. But
Nuke the
all of
island.
that matters not because they're released in the wild.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Fuck that movie.
Jeff Goldblum didn't help any.
I know, and they're marketing him like crazy. He's in for literally one commercial spot. Like, oh fuck, thanks a lot. You know, Star-Lord is on my last nerves between Passengers and this one more shit ass movie of his, and I'm like, fuck, I'm not watching any more of your movies. And now James Gunn is not in fucking doing Guardians. Yeah. Even worse.
Okay.
Ugh.
All right, the last crap movie of 2018.
The last shit, yep. What you got?
Goes to Black Klansman.
Really? Wow. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. Why the hate though? Why did it stand out as hating? I didn't like it, but I don't know that I hated it.
It was good.
I thought it was a good comedy.
Good
okay,
comedy.
Yeah, that ending really tanked it for me. If they didn't have that ending, I would have enjoyed it.
It would have been like, okay, I like it. Like you put in that, it's like, oh, now this is I already know, like what you're trying to say, considering the
like
current
we needed
events.
That obvious what you're trying to say. Yeah. So why would you even push it further? Obvious in case you guys didn't get what we're trying to say.
Yeah, I feel like he put that. Okay, this is what we mean though. This is what we're trying to say.
But it's so obvious.
We get it. We know. We
totally fucking get it. I don't need the actual Trump is a piece of shit. Like, and times haven't changed.
It turned from like a piece of cinema to maybe like
PSA.
PSA. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Yeah. It's
like a pointed PSA. Yeah.
Like, okay. Sure.
Right.
Like, you know, like,
fuck you.
Like I get it. I get it. No, that's just overkill. It's overkill already. Like
overkill. Yeah.
Okay. You gotta make. I got it. Now you just want to be blunt about it. It's like okay.
Right.
Because I think it also dates the movie too. Like this is only meant for this time period.
For that, right? So, which makes it a lesser piece of art.
There's no longevity. No.
Right. Because you're trying to say you're specifically talking about it. It could still be relevant in 20 years. I hope not. But now, once they see, it's about Trump specifically, fuck this movie. Yeah, fuck this movie. But honestly, with all the pieces of garbage floating around last year, it didn't deserve to make my list.
Yeah.
I tell you what did, though.
Oh, what was that?
The fucking Predator. Oh, get the fuck out. What a piece of fucking senseless rubbish.
Oh my god, that
I fucking hate it.
What did
Worse
you hate
than
about
Black Klansman.
Oh,
it has nothing to offer. It just, ugh. I just fucking hated it. For one, they make the original Predator look fucking like a just impotent piece of shit. He gets killed so easily, for one.
All right.
None of the plot makes sense. Everything is forced. Some of the comedy was good. But the overall tone made no sense. It wasn't compatible. And also, what the fuck was up with the dog? That had nothing to do with anything.
Sure.
Yeah. Also, there was no preying upon in this film. No hunting. It didn't feel like a Predator movie. It felt like a Shane Black movie that they're forcing him to be sci-fi now.
I see.
Also, I hate the main guy. He was great as the bad guy in Logan, but his character and his acting in this one was fucking suck ass.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, I hate it. Ugh. Also, too, what the fuck does what's-her-name got to do with anything in the movie? She affects nothing in the plot or the story.
Moon?
Yeah, they just threw her in for some kind of bullshit inclusion writer. Like, when it's so obvious, then it goes against the very spirit of having that inclusion.
Sure.
Make her organic to the fucking plot.
True. Yeah. Oh, good points. I get it.
But yeah, that wraps up what we hated most of this past.
The top 6 worst films of 2018. There you go.
Ugh,
All right.
toxic pieces of garbage.
So before we hit up our top 6 honorable mentions, I gotta ask you, Mox, what you think
Yes.
of the best, the pick for best film of the year?
I
Best
loved
picture.
it. It actually was my second favorite film of last year. I know there's a lot of issues about the authenticity of it, and maybe they didn't focus enough on the actual social ramifications, and that it was told from the white person's point of view. But I don't give a fuck about all of that. I loved it. It was a great feel good movie that had some powerful themes.
When you say told through a white person's view, do you mean the director or the character?
Probably both.
Mm.
I know that the book it's taken from was written by the son of Viggo Mortensen's character. So I mean, it's totally the white person's view. But I mean, it's just a person who happens to be white. So I guess they consider that a white person's lens, and maybe it is, probably it is. None of that affected it. I didn't want to walk into Black Klansman with that movie and see this overpowering, narrative that's like about the racial divide and this and that. I want to see character, learn something. I want to care about him. I want
Sure.
to care about what the movie's trying to say, and that delivered. It was worth the $12 or whatever the fuck we paid that night.
I think it was a Tuesday, so it was okay.
Right. Well, okay. If it were full price, would you have felt different about it?
No. I mean,
Okay.
the price of admission doesn't affect me wanting or whether or not.
What you like? Okay.
Yeah.
To me, the more I pay for it, or the more, on my end, I gotta do, the more it ups the anticipation for the movie. It does. I mean, it ups the bar, versus something where we just kind of hang out here and watch it streaming. That has a little bit lesser of a bar.
Interesting. Oh, okay.
But yeah, what did you think? 'Cause
Yeah.
I know you love the movie.
It was
what do
either
you-
that or Bohemian Rhapsody that I was rooting for.
Did you see Bohemian Rhapsody, or you just in theory you love that they did that movie, or you love Rami Malek?
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it, and so
Okay,
I thought it was either that or Green Book. So
cool.
in the middle of the movie, because I know Queen, right? So I know the
Right.
band. I know some of its history. I'm a fan of Queen,
Right.
and so
Right.
the way it was being presented, I'm like, oh, they're skipping a lot of parts, like, and then I thought, oh, okay, well, they only have so much time to cover
Right.
so many.
And not all of it is
Yeah.
relevant to the story. I
So
guess, right?
so it's everything leading up to, I think that Live Aid concert at the end of the movie. So I thought, okay, I get it, and it was pretty moving. So I was happy with it.
Awesome.
So it was either that or Green Book.
I was rooting for Rami Malek just because I like the dude, and I think acting as Freddie Prinze. I think Freddie Prinze was just fucking awesome. Nope, not Freddie Prinze. Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah. Freddie Prinze, I don't know. I can go either way on him. But yeah, I think
Sure.
Freddie Mercury was deserving of a good portrayal and a good film for like how fucking long. But yeah. So you were pleased that Green Book won.
Yeah. Like it was
Okay.
it was deserving of the award.
Of the best, right. As opposed to some other years. I know. I thought, for me, the past 2 years, I thought, what the fuck?
Sure. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I still haven't seen a lot of those movies though.
You missed nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay, so here's our top 6 honorable mentions of 2018 films that we really enjoyed, but
Yep.
well, I mean, I still enjoyed them. They
Right. But
just didn't make the top 6.
they just couldn't make the 6. Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's all it is. But these movies I think are still a bomb and still worth checking out.
They are. But I got one of my 6 is kind of juiced. I juiced it. I put it on the list for reasons that are not altogether on the up and up.
Oh, okay.
Little ethnocentricity.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, so in no particular order.
Yes.
first on my honorable mention is actually The Green Book.
Really? They didn't even make the top six? Damn, son.
It's very, very,
Shit.
very enjoyable, and it's like almost a very dramatized bromance, a very friendship in the making.
That would
Like,
be its genre, yeah.
yeah,
More than and that's I guess what I like. It was more that than it felt like a social or political or socio-political message. That would have turned me off. Wow.
yeah,
But I liked one thing that they did bother to comment on that's a bit socio-political, that socioeconomical status has nothing really to do with race or racial experience. Like, just because the black character is all sophisticated and refined and had all of these tiers of higher education and training and elitism does not necessarily reflect him not having that shared, I guess, black experience. And just because the white character or whatever is, on a more depressed economic standpoint, that does not mean he can begin to share or understand the whole culture of that black experience.
sure, yeah.
So I like that they touched on that, because that's a kind of surface way of looking at color and ethnicity and the cultural experiences that go through that. Oh, I'll have my award, please.
Yeah.
Bam. Knowledge. Yeah. No, but I like that. They peppered it in, but it wasn't smashing you in the face and putting a PSA at the end, like as if you didn't get the message in the previous 2 hours. Here's some blatant, blunt shit.
Yeah, sure.
Green Book rules.
Well said.
Thank you. So my one that I'd like to start with is our homie's picture, Who's Watching Oliver?
Really, that's honorable mention.
It is. Between the two of us, you are more of the, I don't want to call this a B movie, independent, smaller movie kind of lover than I am. I love this movie, but I thought some of the bigger movies were just better narratives than this. To me, this fired on all cylinders. It was great. It was greatly acted, directed, written, shot, all of that. It just didn't quite make the top 6 movies for my list, but it definitely deserves a nod because of its quality. And I think it earns and deserves all of the accolades that it's accumulated on its indie festival run.
Oh, okay. Oh, I guess I'm just surprised that it didn't make the list just because of how much praise we gave it. It's like, oh, okay, so there must be other 6 movies that succeed that.
They do. Some of them you might laugh, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love that. I love that movie. I love Who's Watching Oliver. And Russell Jeffrey Banks' titular performance, it's both terrifying and heartbreaking. And I feel like that is a hard line to walk while also inhabiting both sides. It just is a great. It's really worth checking out, people. So look it up on Amazon, buy that DVD or Blu-ray, rent it, whatever. You need to see this movie.
Nice. All right. Next up on the honorable mentions is the indie sci-fi horror flick, Strange Nature.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Oh, I love this.
I know you did.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I guess I sort of get it, but I feel you can look at something and love it for what it wanted to be and what it almost was, versus I have a more nearsighted vision. I applaud what it could have been, what it was trying to be, but I just cannot ignore what turned up at my door. That movie, man. I don't know, man.
Oh.
But yeah.
Like
sing his praises.
As far as just indie B movies go, this hits all the spots. Very, very enjoyable, very practical, simple story. I mean, nothing too flashy. And I like when we watched it, we already knew like the first 20 minutes is basically the first 20 minutes of the Lost Boys, like beat for beat. Like I just loved it. Whether intentional or not, right, unintentional, but like it was exactly that's what it was basically. Woo.
That's true. if that was an homage, then well done, sir.
Well done. If not, that's fine too.
That's fine too.
Yeah.
Happy accident.
Yeah.
Well, my next one, fucking loved it. It was surprising, but Mission Impossible Fallout. It is the best in the franchise and easily the current new benchmark for action thrillers.
Really?
Yeah, it's fucking badass, dude.
Wow. Okay. Like I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But,
Right.
I mean,
but
it looks really good.
it's
So
worth it.
It's the best of the Mission Impossibles.
Yeah, used to be for me Ghost Protocol #4. That was the one to beat, but this one blows it away. It just, I mean, it's on that next level. It incorporates personal character growth, fucking world stakes, and I usually hate movies where the world is at stake, especially in spy thrillers. But this one, it brings in old characters. It just, it's really excellent. I mean, it almost transcends its action thriller genre status by being just cinema.
Wow. Tom Cruise delivers then, huh?
He fucking does, man, and he does all his stunts.
Shit. That scene where he jumps off the building like to go across the other building.
Right.
They said that, or he brought a clip, and like on the interview they said that when he makes that initial jump, when he lands, his foot landed wrong. And so like right on impact it broke, but he kept in character. He was like, cut, that's it, that's a wrap, like I'm done, yeah, I'm done, like because my foot's broken, like it's over.
Yeah, I hope they did all of those shots toward the end of filming, because nothing like delaying the whole production because your crazy lead man just busted his shit doing a stunt.
Yeah, like I know.
But yeah, excellent movie.
Nice. Oh, okay. I'm about to. Well, now I have more reason to check it out now. Get on it.
Yeah, put it up there, son.
All right, my next honorable mention goes to First Man, the
First Man,
Neil Armstrong kind of biopic.
Oh, okay. Fuck, I still haven't seen that. I want to. Are you sure it's called First Man? Yeah, maybe.
First Man. First Man.
Oh, okay.
Ryan Gosling. Yeah. So it's basically Damien
Chazelle.
Is that the
director?
Yeah, Damien Chazelle. Ryan Gosling is dealing with all these tragedies leading up until the landing on the moon. Yeah. So it's like, okay. It's kind of like, yeah, it's very personal. It's very humbling because then, there was that issue where they mentioned they didn't show the part where he plants the flag.
Yeah. Also, yeah. How do you feel about that? A bunch of Canadians doing a movie about Americans fucking being awesome and leading the world. Do you think that's a thing, or like fuck it? They
got the right guy to present. Okay. I think so. I think it doesn't matter if they got the right person to do it.
That's true.
Fine. But don't do that.
At that point, you just
Terminator. No, it's got to be all American though. They need all American.
Really? Okay.
No, I don't care. But
I know it's like all right.
Jason Clarke, Emilia Clarke. Come on, all these Clarks, and Jai White.
Oh, talking about Genesis. Yeah. Just you just made me puke in my eye. Fucking piece of shit. Okay, so yeah, I mean that was always on my to watch list. So okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I expect quality from the players in it. Damien Chazelle, just excellent filmmaker, and Ryan Gosling, excellent actor.
Yeah. So it's nice, like it's a pretty moving story.
Nice. Okay. Well, I got a little movie called Life Itself, written and directed by Dan Fogelman. A simultaneously saccharine and sadistic slice of life following the melodrama and hypertrauma of generations of family, narrated by a mysterious voice revealed at the end. Now, this movie, I give props to. It's one of those strange nature movies like you. I give it its props for what it was trying to be, despite what it actually ended up being. But I think despite its faults, it is still a good enough movie. And I feel cinema is not for Dan Fogelman. He tried to do too much with a limited span. He creates stuff like This Is Us and Parenthood. And over that kind of timeline, where you can really probe the depths of these characters and their backgrounds and conflicts, I think that's where his excellence shines through. But he comes up short trying to cram all of that shit into 2 hours, and he doesn't actually take a step back, because you would think you only got 2 hours, tell as much as you can for the form that you're trying to do. But he was like, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna do everything I do in 3 to 5 seasons in 2 hours, and it is just overpacked. I mean, it is a saturated mess, but the film has such a heart and such outstanding performances by all of the cast. It borders on really good.
Okay.
And it's worth a watch, and it's for free on Amazon Prime. So I definitely recommend you guys check it out and see what you think.
Okay, right on. All right. Next up on the honorable mentions goes to Hereditary.
Haha, me too, actually.
Yeah, right on. I got more out of it than what I initially anticipated. So
Right.
that I always like that when that happens. But I also went in thinking like, how is this movie gonna shock me?
Right.
Because then
And it didn't really, though, right?
Yeah, like everyone's like,
they had really
there's that
overhyped.
scene
Yeah.
that's gonna just. I'm like, okay, is it as worse? If it does it, the movie that sets the bar for shocking scenes.
Bone Tomahawk.
Yes.
Right.
Nothing.
It didn't come close to Bone Tomahawk.
No. I can't watch that movie. Like I can watch the movie, but I go in watching that movie.
That's a cringeworthy. Yeah.
Like, what's that director's name? S. Craig Zoller. Any of his movies is you're in for some just
a
crazy
stab in the gut.
No, not even just a stab in the gut. You can get a stab in the gut while he breaks his knees in. I was like, oh, I can't handle it. Oh, but
a little bit of an eye rape.
Yeah. But Hereditary.
It's an exhaustive movie. I don't know how much I could rewatch it, but I liked it. I mean, I think it's a great movie. And I think people might be split on it, especially because I feel like the third act just pivots into straight what the fuck horror. Where it's more subtly psychological and dark and brooding, kind of building through the first 2 acts, and then at the at the third act, they're like, "Fuck it, let's balls to the wall, this bullshit, like, bring in that demon shit."
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
Oh my, yeah, because this movie's heavy on the emotions. Like it's a broken film. Like there's no happy part. Like
people in a broken world.
Oh my god,
it's so fucking depressing.
It is almost, but like you're just like, what happens next? I need to see. It's like, oh, this poor family. Okay, but yeah.
Oh yeah, this poor family.
So you had that one too, then?
That was mine.
Okay. Next honorable mention goes to You Were Never Really Here.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool, man.
Lynn Ramsey. She also did Marvin Callar. And she did that movie too. But this one was, I already knew what I was kind of in for. And I thought I was just going to see some hype shit from Joaquin Phoenix.
Right. Me too.
But it was like, it's all actions were inferred.
Right, and it's the reactions.
The reactions, right,
that
afterwards.
We're focusing on.
The aftermath, and it's like, whoa, very graphic. And the ending was really creatively done. We kind of get a sense of how he feels, how the world views him.
Mean the ending, like the last scene in the coffee shop?
Yeah.
I love that too. I loved it too.
Okay.
That was on point.
Yeah, that was really on point.
This woman who directed it, this director, I mean, she knows how to shoot emotion, and she knows how to do character pieces, and Joaquin Phoenix is just fucking excellent. So
for sure.
And the movie's short too, but it's intense that it feels longer than it is. And generally, I hate this kind of movie, in the sense of like if I were to walk into Taken and they cut out all the action pieces and they just show me the aftermath, I'd be like, what the fuck is the purpose? But because this is such a character-driven piece, that is about actually saying something, that choice to leave out the bloody violence, it works. And I think the story would have suffered, or the film as a whole would have suffered, if they did include Joaquin being a badass and just fucking up dudes left and right.
Cool.
Okay, so mine next one is mid-90s,
Oh wow.
written and directed by Jonah Hill.
Okay, so that made the
It made the
mention.
honorables. Yeah. For a first film, like, there's just no end to Jonah Hill's talent, motherfucker. It's a slice of life and a kind of time capsule of coming of age, during the 90s, and how in that time things were like that, and how coming of age is still happening and the world is different. It's a nice mirror, I guess, to juxtapose against how things are now. It was such a different time and experience, not only music and politics and all that shit, but it was just a different culture. That toxicity wasn't even an issue back then versus where it is now. So all of us who came of age in the 90s are having to, in a sense, come of age again and unlearn a lot of the negative shit that was just a part of who we were as a American culture, and even a world culture. So it just was really interesting to see that, and just to see Jonah Hill work.
Is he in the movie?
No.
Oh, okay. Well said.
Thank you. I love that movie, and I love Jonah Hill.
All right. So my last honorable mention goes to a short film.
Really?
Yeah. Shout out to the
okay.
homie Shahab Zagari. The short film is called My Name is Art.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dope.
So basically, it's a short film, and an original, written by Asher Ellis, and the premise, a young suburbanite is a salesman, or a mysterious stranger actually appears at his doorsteps and asks him a simple question: "What is your name?" And I can't go any more into that, but it's on Prime if you want to check it out. But the overall tone, it's very PK Dick again. We got to mention that because Shahab did another short film called the Crystal Crypt, which is based on PK Dick short story. So it's got that sci-fi kind of intensified thriller kind of atmosphere. It's mysterious, but it's got that feel in it for sure.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I can't, for short films you can't really go much into it.
Right. Without
It's
like
good enough
giving
to watch
away.
it, yeah.
Right.
So,
But yeah, I like that it's on Prime, and people should check it out. I will check it out too. I remember you telling me about this film.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's very sci-fi drama.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, my last honorable is Aquaman.
Oh, wow. Ooh.
Oh, DCEU. What are we gonna do with you, huh? Poor thing.
What is
Poor thing, DCEU.
when you say DCEU, DC Entertainment?
The DC company's extended universe.
Oh, okay. DCEU.
As opposed to the MCU, which is killing it, making bank, making great films.
And that's all they are. Just all flash. It's popcorn movies. That's all they are.
MCU, I think it delivers for popcorn films. They have a lot of heart, I feel.
Yeah,
And,
I mean that's what a
lot of
popcorn film
valuable.
should do. Entertain me. Just entertain me.
Right.
You can move me too. That's what a movie should do.
It should.
Should it be nominated for Academy Award?
Oh no! Now you're talking about that Black Panther. Yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, if Black
That's-
Panther
that's-
got nominated, Logan should have been nominated.
You fucking damn right about that.
You know.
You damn right about that. But you know what? Black Panther had a lot of. I don't think it should have got nominated for Best Picture, but it had a lot of best in there, cumulative. Like it won a couple, and I think it was deserving for its effects, its wardrobing. They spent a lot of money, a lot of time. But yeah, best overall picture. But yeah, Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman.
A film that did not spend a lot of time and money, but still I gotta recommend it because studios, you better cast that Polly's. We can bring in the money.
Yeah, just make sure they're half white. That's the only reason why.
Wow, that's racist. Jerk. But I don't know. This movie isn't as good as it should be with Jason Momoa in it and directed by James Wan. I mean, this is easily James Wan's worst or his most average film. I really didn't feel or take away any of his self from this movie. Like, most of his movies, you get a feeling of him in it. This was just, I don't know. I don't know if he should direct, big budget popcorn movie. Well, he did Fast and the Furious, and that one was it was fun. Aquaman wasn't even that fun. Like,
really?
If anything, for a big popcorn movie, it should have been a lot more fun. Fun should have been cranking at 9 or 10. This fun's meter was maybe about 6.
Wow.
But I thought it had the capacity to also make me cry. It didn't. Not even close. It made me laugh, but in the bad kind of way. I'm glad though that they told him to kind of cut back on the goddamn Jihus.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Right? Didn't we count it? There were only 4 in the whole movie or some shit like that.
I think there was just 2, actually. Just 2.
Even better. Like, oh, every damn time. Chill. Like, oh, God.
All right. Well. All right. Well, that's it for our top 6 honorable mentions.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go and list off our top 6 films of 2018.
Yeah.
So I based this list on replay value. How much times can I watch this movie?
Okay.
So at number 6, I got A Quiet Place.
Nice.
I liked your take on it. The but not the message it implies with regards to like
I thought it was,
the parallel or the relationship between the aliens and the humans and what it kind of symbolizes.
Right.
So go check out that review if you haven't heard it.
I'll recap it when I list it on this list because it definitely makes my top 6 list.
Oh, okay. Right.
So for number 6, I got the movie Alpha, which theatrically did not get the kind of run or attention it deserves. I mean,
you think that movie deserved it? Really?
Yeah, it's great.
Like, that trailer did not get me at all. Like, I was, like I thought.
I know, you thought I would hate the trailer.
I thought you were gonna hate this movie, and I was like, I'm on board. And then I saw the trailer. I'm like, I'm not down with this at all.
A boy and his wolf set in prehistoric times.
Does it play like a Land Before Time?
It's in that vein. A little less saccharine, but some pretty overwhelming odds. Okay. It's touching, it's heartfelt, and I think it delves into our shared human condition. And I don't think they did. They could have taken some cheap plot points that they avoided. They didn't avoid all of them, but they avoided some of the main ones that I was worried they were going to do. I just thought it was great.
Nice. Okay. Well said. My number 5 pick goes to Dakota Esquivel. Deadly Crush.
Deadly Crush.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I enjoyed this one. Some parts I didn't like. Well, the only part I didn't like was just the way the car chase scene was presented, and I could see why. Like, if it was for budget reasons, like it was just inferred, basically.
Right.
And I think the whole robbery scene too was kind of just a flash of just pictures, it seems. So there was no real
It
action.
was. I
But
thought that was a creative way to do, something low budget,
yeah,
you know, and keep most of it inferred, but getting the point across. I think he's savvy, and I think he made use of what little budget he had to do this film. And
yeah.
I mean, my objections had nothing to do with the narrative.
My and also I think it's probably the way it was presented is just to save time on the story, not to focus too much on that, because then
On that, because
yeah.
right, that's just a setup.
Yeah,
Right,
basically.
right. We don't need to see the tense and taut robbery.
Yeah. So I mean, and I thought this was just a really fresh, original film.
It is.
kind of like the whole paranormal side
Right.
of horror.
Right.
But it's the subgenre could be horror, but it's more paranormal than anything, and borderline erotic.
Yes.
For sure. But I did if you're looking into any kind of indie horror or paranormal
Yeah.
horror flicks, yeah, definitely check this one out. It's a nice fun film for sure.
Yeah. So for my number 5, I have a little film called Summer of '84.
Really?
It is a
Wow.
dope little indie that blends the coming of age film with the slasher genre flawlessly.
Hey, don't go too much into it. I still need to see it.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's available on Shudder, and it is just a well-crafted, uniquely voiced vision. I can't give this movie enough props.
Really? That good, huh?
Yep. Well, now maybe I've said, I've overhyped it for you, but yeah, you should watch it. It's quite well done.
Okay. All right.
So, all right, your number 4.
Number 4, I have the horror indie masterpiece.
Oh no.
Who's watching Oliver?
Oh, okay, cool.
Ooh.
Yep.
This
Only good things to say about this.
Yeah, as far as disturbing goes,
it's quite.
It is nothing less than disturbing.
It is. It's psychologically disturbing.
It is.
Just the whole. There is so much fucked up shit.
And not so much the horrific scenes, but just the two
depiction.
characters.
Yeah.
The two main characters. Oliver, played by the homie Russell Jeffrey Banks, and we have Sophia. Shout out to Sarah Malakul Lane.
Yep, as Sarah.
Sophia. As Sophia.
Oh.
Her name is Sarah,
yeah.
right?
Her name is Sarah. The character is Sophia. Okay.
Yeah, yes. Those two characters, as far as disturbing goes, it's like, the the creep factor is at 11.
And creepy, yeah. It's a very creepy film.
Not for everyone, but as far as indie horror goes, if you're a fan of horror, you definitely need to check this out. Great work by Richie Moore, and of course, shout out to Raymond Huber, who's done a lot on this film as far as writing, producing, just getting everything together. And Sarah Malakul Lane would love to have you on the show.
Yes,
the invite is out there.
The invite is out there.
Yes.
Hit us up on Instagram or Twitter.
Yes, but who's watching Oliver? Masterpiece.
We are.
Yes, yeah. Much praises to that film. You just need to check it out. It speaks for itself.
You so do. Yep. So pivoting a hard left, my number 4 is the fucking popcorn masterpiece, Infinity War.
If there was a superhero movie that should have been, aside from Logan, this should have been it.
Right.
This
for this year,
it.
this should have been it easily, hands down. Nothing against Black Panther. Good watch. A lot of hard work went into it, and it paid off. But that, to me, that was a social pick. That was a socio-political pick, if I've ever seen one other than Moonlight.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, Infinity War. I mean, that movie's just a bomb. But you know who steals the show, though?
Who?
It's those Jardians. of the galaxy.
They do. I mean, they're just magnetic, but also fuck
Yeah.
you, Star-Lord. You can't keep it in your pants for 1 second, the whole fucking universe riding on it.
Oh,
No,
all
you gotta
right.
get personal and fuck up the plan.
Yeah,
This was your plan too, Star-Lord.
that's
That's
fine.
a lot, Star-Lord.
Well, this was my number 3, Infinity War. Went up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. I
And
don't know how much you just don't regard at all the MCU or comic
Yeah.
book movies, so
Well,
I know it is quite a task.
I did like the underlying theme that all life has value, as opposed
Mhm.
to just one individual. You know, I get Thanos
Right.
wanting to do like, and I guess he's in a way justified. You know, if you look at through his, he makes a good
Through his
argument.
eyes, he does. But yeah, you still
I feel like
like
that's
nature should run its course.
yeah.
All life should be precious, and then whatever happens, happens.
That I think that's
But
taking the easy way out. You know, and that in a sense kind of has some political undertones
excuse me.
with regard to who gets to choose what life stays.
Right.
But we didn't want to touch base on that. We didn't want to
Well, I feel it's at random, but
taint this
I also,
movie with any
to that, yeah,
to
to
that.
that.
You know,
We got a little bit of that from Black Panther, but they didn't do it up too big. That's why
it was
that
too
movie is
peppered
still good.
in superhero lore to bring it to that.
To bring it to that, yeah.
Who gets to choose what? Who gets to live and who gets to, who should die. I mean, but Thanos, it's at random, right? So he was willing to sacrifice himself
But
as well.
I think I guess what the film, and I guess you agree with, is saying that no one should be in charge of making that decision, that half the people should die so that so the other half that lives, despite it being on random, but that they can have a plentiful existence.
Right.
It should just kind of play out. Let it play out at random. Let it find a natural way to end. But no one person should be able to pull that trigger and just end half of all life.
Yeah.
And I see that too. I still like Thanos the best, but yeah. And also still, fuck you, Star-Lord. But also, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Infinity War is a bomb, and I'm very much looking forward to the sequel. Like,
Me too.
yeah. So
that's on our, yeah.
And shout out to the Guardians. That was the film that got me into
The MCU, yeah.
MCU. I mean, Logan
yeah.
too. Logan, but I don't think that's part of it, right? That
No,
movie
not
is a
yet, not
standalone.
yet. It's a standalone, yeah.
But,
Well, yeah, it's part of that whole X-Men 28th Century Fox. But yeah, Logan. My God, that is probably easily my favorite comic book movie of all time, followed by The Dark Knight.
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay, number
3.
2. Oh, 3, yeah, for me, because that was your number 3 as
Yeah.
well, right? Infinity War. Okay, my number 3 was You Were Never Really There.
Really, that high up there, huh?
I loved it. I loved it because this kind of movie generally pisses me off, like I touched on earlier, that, when you take out the action sequence, I usually get like, ugh, what the fuck? But I mean, this filmmaker is so great that I feel like including what I usually love would make me hate it. So I just love the irony there. And I also love that last scene and that last moment, and just what a fucking profound movie. This is one of those movies I feel that works. I usually don't necessarily like cinematic soliloquies, but this one resonated with me and it works.
Nice. Okay. All right. Number 2. My number
What
2
you got?
film goes to the indie. I've been told it's called a dramedy. I feel like it's more of a drama than a comedy. But the indie, it's also another, I think it's a masterpiece. It's called Thunder Road. Written
I've
and
never heard of
directed
that.
by Jim Cummings. It's actually, you can see it now on Prime. Now it's available.
Dope.
But basically, it's a police. It's very heavy on the emotions. So the basically, according to IMDb's premise, a police officer faces a personal meltdown following a divorce and the death of his mother. And so, I kind of feel sorry for the main character, who's acted by Jim Cummings. So he wrote and directed this movie. I think initially it was a short film,
And starred in it.
Yeah, and started it.
Ooh, I'm weary of those guys usually.
Yeah, but this movie, no.
But this one is great. Okay, fuck, props to Jim Cummings.
Yeah.
And I don't even know who's that.
Yeah. Now he's working on a new project. I don't know if it's horror related, but yeah, like he's all about that hustle.
Dope.
And making a good product, a good film. So it's not like he's
Not a
busting
vanity
out-
piece.
busting out film after film after film. No, he takes time with his work.
Because he got something to say, right? He's
Yeah.
not just kicking out content for the fuck's sake. I like
Yeah.
that. Then, you
Yeah.
know, I appreciate that.
So like within like the first 5-10 minutes of the film, I'm already on this guy's side. Like I'm on his side throughout the rest of the movie. Regardless, I got your back, Jim Cummings. I got your back.
Oh, nice. I gotta check that shit out.
Yeah. So it's a drama or a dramedy.
You feel those heavier on that drama side, though.
Yeah.
With maybe moments of levity.
Yes,
Okay.
for sure.
Sounds good. All right. My number 2, I got Green Book.
No shit.
Yeah.
Number
I'm glad
2.
I'm glad it won Best Picture. I fucking loved it.
Holy shit. That's up there, man. That's up there.
That is. It deserves. I mean, it would have got the number 1 if not
Yeah.
if not for the number 1.
I mean, I loved it too. And I think because there's always that scene that got it the nod and then eventually the win. I think the scene was when they're at the hotel. It's towards maybe maybe 3/4 into the movie. Like Vigo meets or it turns out one of Vigo's friends is staying at the same hotel and kind of offered him a job, right?
Right.
And so he's gonna leave to go meet down with him, but we don't know his intentions.
The professor is in the hall offering him all this kind.
He ups his thing, wants him to make, him
wants him to stay on as his driver or whatever.
His driver,
right?
and his manager
like promoting him, right.
And like, no, just don't leave me. Just don't leave. I need you. And it's more so that he needs his protection, his input, but more so like he's already like he's attached to him.
He's attached. That's what I read into it. That's how that moment played for me and why it was so resonant.
Like, and basically he's on his knees like, I need you.
Right,
this is my way of saying I need you.
Right.
And then
it's all it's chock full of kind of a desperation. It's I feel kind of a not a low point necessarily, but I mean it is a basic a shift in power in that power dynamic.
Yeah.
And I like how casually, right, Viggo Mortensen is like, I agreed to do this, and that's my word.
For sure. Yeah. So it's like, okay. Yeah. And I think that was the most
poignant or
touching
like that's
point
what
of the
you
film.
think.
Yeah.
Got
for sure. Yeah. Nice. Green Book. Ooh, now I'm curious to hear what your favorite movie is now.
Oh, we've already brought it up, but yeah.
I forget though. Okay. But before we get to that, my favorite movie of 2018 is your most hated movie of 2018.
Oh God, really? The Predator. Oh my God. Well, to each his own. And you got that weird taste. That weird taste sometimes.
That replay value. It's got everything you want in a sequel. It's probably one of the more underrated horror movies of 2018.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I read zero horror or terror in it. For me.
I don't know, but I mean,
I guess I should watch it again.
We went to a late show.
Maybe it'll get better with subsequent viewings. I don't know, man. Well, God. Not to take away from your number 1 spot. Hey, man, you loved it the best of the year, then go for it.
Oh,
I feel like a lot of people were split on it.
I feel like with regards to a sequel continuing a franchise, like this hit all the good points. Like this is how Prometheus and Covenant should have been like.
Should have been.
Like yes, but see what they're taking it in a different direction with those movies. Like I've heard the complaints like they didn't know it was an alien movie until the end of Prometheus. I'm like, what? Oh, okay. But You go in this movie knowing
yeah.
you're watching a Predator movie. It's got all the elements of the first Predator. What made the movie great to begin with is in here. It's in here, and it just continues on being as action and horror filled as can be. If not for
And
all
sci-fi and
yeah,
comedy.
for all the fans, it should have. If you're a fan of the Predator, you're a fan of this movie. And Mox, I don't think you're a fan.
And if you're a fan of the real Predator, you hated this movie. You can't just love something blindly. But to each his own. I'm glad that you love this movie that much.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. Shout out to
You know what
Shane
though?
Black.
As much as I hated this movie, I don't want them to stop making Predators. So if
yeah,
that's what it
yeah.
takes,
This should not be
for people to love it and pay money. I do want to continue.
Yes, we'll get more Predator movies. This is just one
Good.
one spot, a hiccup for some people, I guess, but I thought it was the bomb.
You know what, too? I wouldn't even mind if they gave Shane Black another shot at the next Predator one.
They better. They better.
I'd watch it. I'd still watch it. As much as I hate this one, I'd watch it again. Because I do think Shane Black is just infinitely talented. I don't know what the fuck happened with this one. Maybe too much studio. Maybe Olivia Munn sabotaging it by being shitty. I don't know.
Oh.
She's just so deadpan fucking boring in this
Her
movie.
character is...
And
I think it's a one shot.
Fuck? It hasn't...
Like, she doesn't have to be in the next one.
She's so one-dimensional and... Right, please do not bring her back. Or any other bullshit character that doesn't need to be there that adds nothing. I know you guys need to cast women, but how about write them a good part first? An integral part of the fucking story.
Yeah. Okay.
And now, my number one, The Quiet Place.
Really?
I thought it was a thought-provoking, if on-the-nose, allegory about the snowflake, overly sensitive, on-blast society that tears people apart, foolish enough to voice opinions outside of the weaponized liberal agenda. In a world where the loudest monsters get the most attention, reason and rationale have been doomed to the quiet place.
Damn, number one.
I just love that movie too.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
And I'm glad we saw it in the theaters. I did not expect it to be as good as it was. In fact, I was prepared to be like, oh, great. Thanks a lot, John Krasinski. I mean, he's actually a pretty good filmmaker. I've enjoyed all of his movies, but I think this one especially was really great.
Nice.
Transcends its popcornness by actually saying something.
Yeah. The replay value, it's...
To tell you the truth, I bought the movie and I haven't watched it over in its entirety. I'll start it and I'll do something else or I'll have it playing in the background, but I haven't sat down and rewatched it. It's not one of those films for me. I just rewatched the other night The Fighter. That's a movie that has huge replay value to me.
Oh yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, I
that's
love
a good
that
movie. That is a good movie. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that.
Book, yeah. Plus Amy Adams though, she's great in everything.
Yeah. I liked her in The Arrival. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, there you have it.
Yep.
Favorite films of 2018. What films to watch and what films not to watch, according to us, because we the experts.
Yep. We as the expert.
Peace. All right. Well, that is it for this episode. Thank you for checking it out. Be sure to check out this episode's show notes for links to all our social media sites. But other than that, be sure to visit our website, nekkomedia.com. That's Nekko media.com. And we also be on Twitter and Instagram. Very active on both of those. And you can check those out at cynical_mass. That's CINECAL_MASS. And feel free to get in touch through email, cinephiles@gmail.com. Any movie recommendations, we'd love to check it out. Any screeners? We'd love to review. Any potential guests? Yeah, we love having guests on the show too.
Yeah, if you're a filmmaker, fucking hit us a line and we'll get you on the show. Ask you your top 6 movies and what it's like to be an artist like you.
Oh, yes. And any fellow cinephiles and Cenobites, you are welcome.
Yes.
Any place that they can hit you up, Mox?
At villainous_kind, Instagram and fucking Twitter. But don't bother. I rarely check it except when I'm drunk. So
Okay.
I'd either send it to Ono or the show.
Yeah, you can check me out on Twitter at This Is Ono. That's This Is OHNO. Same goes for Instagram.
Oh no!
Yup. All right. Well, thank you again. Take it away, Annika.
This has been a Nekko Media podcast broadcasting from the Blood Cave, part of the /Potter family. For myself, Annika Pussyfoot, Mox, and Ono, keep the lights on and check under that bed because there's only one universal truth. No lives matter. That means you. Stay rating, Wokeland.
We have candy.
This is us, Ono and Mox's podcast. Sounds like crap leaving ass, or duck fucking glass. Probably both, it's really bad. And we do the shit all for you. And we sound like shit while we do. Tigers podcast. We broadcasting shit podcast. Tigers podcast. In your face, in your dreams. Shit podcast. Tigers podcast. We broadcasting shit podcast. Tigers shit podcast. In your face, in your dreams. Shit podcast.
This is a Nekko Media podcast.